I'm Joe.
And I'm Ben.
And we're the Bourbon Boys. Let's pour a glass.
Welcome back to Bourbon Boys. Another
We're back.
episode.
I know. What are we on now? I don't know. 100
I don't
something?
know. Over 100, I stopped counting.
We're over 100. Not counting. We're just rolling now over 100. So today we have a Leopold Brothers bottled in bond. So I was in Oklahoma recently, and I ran across this bottle, and I'm familiar with Leopold Brothers Distillery, mostly because I seek out, I have not found one yet, but their rye that they make, which is super unique in that it's the only whiskey in America right now that I'm aware of, made in a 3-chamber still, which is a different process, which we won't go into right now. But I like the guys that do it. So it's a distillery that started in Michigan, and now a few years ago they moved to Colorado, more than a few years ago, and I don't believe they grow their own grain, but they use heritage rye in there, and they have their own malt house. They floor malt everything. So this is a high malt bourbon, and I did at one point in time know the percentages. You might be able to read it. Does it say on there?
Let me see.
I can't remember now. My eyes are bad.
64 corn, 21 malted barley, 15 rye.
Yeah. So it's a high malted barley. Of course, they make it right there, so it's easy for them.
Sure.
Which is pretty neat, and they're very dedicated to kind of more traditional distilling techniques. So I was really interested to get this. It does not sell as far as I know, in Kentucky or Ohio or Indiana, at least, which is the areas that I
not in
frequently
Bourbon,
go.
home of Bourbon?
Not that I'm aware. I've never seen it. I couldn't swear to it, but I look for it. Now, their rye is world-renowned, or at least very renowned for being delicious and expensive. I think it's a couple $150, $250 a bottle or something like that.
Okay.
But because of that unique still, I would very much. They say it's oily.
Oh.
Because the 3 chambers puts the 3rd chambers under pressure, which lets it rise the temperature, which I wasn't going to go into, but now I'm going
Now
into
he's going into it?
So I saw this. It was like $60, $65 or something like that. So I thought I'd at least try their standard bourbon.
Okay. Very interesting nose.
You can smell the malt on it.
Yeah,
and an earthy kind of a little bit.
A little floral.
A little floral and a little earthy, like a garden-y or something, right?
That's interesting. I've never smelled.
No, it's very different.
Like
right. You can tell I have dipped into it because while I was in Oklahoma for several days, and things not to do other than sit around and sip on a little bourbon. So, and I had this one.
Oh, that's an interesting nose.
The nose is different, but it's nice.
Sweet. Yeah.
It's sweet and kind of floral.
Mm-hmm.
And like I said, almost with a little malt in it, which I think is what I'm saying is almost like not earthy, but outdoorsy or I don't know. I don't know what I'm saying. I'm just babbling.
Just babbling. That's all right.
And the palate is a lot like the nose.
Yeah. Wow.
So like this is a bottle and bond, so it's 100 proof. But they do age this 5 years, and they do it in a dunnage style aging house, which is what they do in Ireland, which essentially means that's earthen floors. They're low. They only stack them usually about 3 high, generally speaking.
Okay.
And so it's a more constant temperature throughout.
Right.
And apparently the floors have something to do with the humidity in where they're aging it, and it reduces the loss.
Okay.
Some ricks where they age them will add moisture to it to try to control the being so dry that it sucks so much out of it.
Mm-hmm. It's interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Not like any bourbon I've ever had.
No, someone gave this to you.
Yeah.
And told you it wasn't bourbon. You might be like, well, what is it? It kind of resembles bourbon, but it's
Yeah.
not. It's very different from a bourbon.
Hmm.
I think we'll finish this.
That's a great
See
plan.
how we like the
Great
rest
idea.
of the glass.
Yeah.
And then what do you think we come back? After?
Come back. Yeah, we'll tell them.
Okay. All right. We're back.
We're
We
back.
finished that. I'm going to go in to the best part of this. The nose.
The nose.
It's-
Yeah.
The nose is really lovely. And it's not bad. This is so different. We were talking about it as we were drinking it here. The first couple sips are the most enjoyable.
Yeah.
And then it wanes off a little bit. The finish on this is long, but I think
Long.
that's the thing. It's long, and it starts off like the nose. You get those kind of floral, maybe a little bit of light fruit, and the maltiness to balance, to bring that down a little bit. But then, as the finish comes in, it first you feel it drying through your mouth, and then a bitterness, like the rye spice comes in, and then the spice fades to kind of a bitter
note. Yeah.
Yeah.
Something.
a little bitter note that leaves on the palate, which I'm still getting now.
Yeah.
With it, but then you go back and smell it. Yeah, you don't get any of the spice or that on the nose.
Yeah.
And it's very nice. I really like what these guys are doing. I like the ideas that they're bringing the older style of stuff back. They also do like a lot of this. I wouldn't know if this is a small distillery, but smaller, not the major distilleries. Is that they barrel it at 110, I believe, or somewhere in that range. So, which is traditionally what many distillers did. They didn't. So now 125 is the max, and just for economic reasons and space, because you can fit more whiskey into fewer barrels
Right.
at 125 proof. That's what most of them do, and that higher proof will draw different flavors out of the barrel, depending on the proof that you put it in. And so I can't swear that this is 110, but I think it's 100 or 10 or below. It's a lower proof that they put it in at.
Okay.
But anyway, so me, I'm coming in with this one because it's nice to drink. And speaking from having it for several nights in a row, I don't know that I want to have this every night.
Yeah.
It's very different. Because I think it said it's kind of like you have your most bourbons in a range like this, and this one just widens that range of what you can do with the bourbon. It really just seems like it opens it up, broadens that horizon, but not for my palate. I could see where some people might love this.
Sure.
But for me, this wouldn't be my favorite. So, but it's super interesting, and it is enjoyable for a change of pace, I think. And so I would probably say give it a 3, just mostly for a little above average because of the uniqueness that it brings to the table.
Yeah.
And I won't say it's bad. It's just not exactly
Not hitting the
hitting my palate
Yeah.
where I would like to. But it's unique and it's interesting, and I'd give it a 3 for that. And the price tag of, I want to say it was right around $60-65, is probably not bad considering all the stuff that goes into it and the size of the distillery and such. So I'd put a 2.5 on that,
2.5.
which is right where it should be.
Should be.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So we are pretty identical again.
Why
I
are
think we've been doing that lately. I
I
don't know. But yeah, well, it is super unique. I mean, the nose is unique. The flavor profile is super unique. I'm like never really tasted a bourbon like this before. It's hard to tell that it's a bourbon if you didn't know. So definitely interesting to drink. It's not my favorite either. I wouldn't say it's amazing or anything from my palate, but taste wise, I'm going to give it a 3. Definitely interesting. Give it a shot if you see
it's
it
worth
out
the
there.
buy, right?
Definitely, yeah.
It's not something I got to have this in my bar all the time.
Yeah. And then price point for all the stuff they're doing. I mean, malting rye. They floor malt
it, which is like that's an industry into itself.
Yeah, that's crazy.
To be doing that.
So yeah, I'll give them the price. I'm going to say 2.5. I think is right.
Yeah,
right where it should be.
I think it's a reasonable price.
Yeah, for all the stuff you're getting. Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, I mean
You're getting better at this, man.
I'm trying. Hey, wait a minute. Yeah, we're agreeing that's not good.
All right. Well, thanks for watching.
Yep.
If anybody has tried their rye that they put out,
Oh,
let me
yeah.
know. Or
If you know where to
if
get
you
it.
want to get it,
Or give it to
or
us.
send a
Ooh,
sample.
that'd be good.
I would love to try it. I'm
Yeah.
just intrigued by it.
Yeah.
And I would love to get my hands on a taste of it.
Yeah, I'd
But
love to
anyway,
try it.
thanks for watching. Thanks.
See ya.